Hello and welcome. So this past Wednesday, I saw When Marnie Was There for the first time. Uh, Fathom Events does this thing where they put on Ghibli movies as part of Ghibli Fest, and so over the course of the year, they'll have like a dozen different Ghibli movies in theater. I had never seen When Marnie Was There before. So that's Marnie, that's Anna. Look at that. Boom. Characters named. The film is about one girl, Anna, trying to navigate through her life, which she thinks sucks. She feels alienated from everyone around her. One of the plot points is that she doesn't look like a native Japanese person, and that contributes to her sense of alienation, her sense of not belonging, which her peers kind of find baffling to them. They're just kind of like, what are you talking about? Wish for a normal life? What does that even mean? One of the first things she says in the movie, she's with a school group and they're at a park and she's busy sketching. And she says, hey, there are two kinds of people, those who are on the inside, those who are on the outside. And I am on the outside. That kind of sets the tone. She doesn't feel like she belongs. She doesn't know how to act in society. She's estranged from her family, who are like an adoptive family. They're fostering her. And she has asthma. And because she has asthma, they send her to the country where there's less air pollution to try to get her past that, to get her over that. While she's in the country, she's staying with some relatives there. Well, relatives of her adopted mom in this little town. That little town's like next to this swamp. And there's actually some really cool pictures way down here because this is where the movie takes place. It's actually pretty amazing. I wasn't actually expecting it to be like a real place, but it totally is. This could be like a shot right out of the movie. It's fantastic. And this little house here, a villa in, oh boy, I'm not going to pronounce that, on which the Marsh House is based, it sure looks a lot like it. So they did a lot of great like scouting of places to create the mood and the scenery. Really beautiful movie. It's a very melancholy kind of film. Even when we get to the ending and things are ending on a positive note, it's still kind of a downer. Man, we haven't even got to like what the movie's about. So Anna sees this abandoned house. She meets this little blonde girl, Marnie, right here, and the two fall into a very fast, very strong friendship. They spend their summer hanging out with each other, having picnics, having fun. But as they're going through it, Anna's relationships with other people kind of degrade. She is living through her days just to get to the time when she can go hang out with Marnie. It's a coming of age story. It's a story of friendship, a story of forgiveness. Because there is no friendship out there in this world, in this universe, that has been without ups and downs. It's a pretty film. It's a well paced film. Although, I gotta say, somewhere in the end of the second act, start of the third act, I started thinking to myself, I wish they would get to the point already. And I'll try to explain what I mean by that. So we're gonna get more spoilery here. If you want my quick summation of When Marnie Was There, it's like a 9 out of 10. Good moody film, lots of mystery, lots of interesting stuff going on, deep characterizations. Apparently, it's based on a novel by Joan G. Robinson. We showed some of this off on stream. I haven't read it. I know her name from somewhere. It must be the Teddy Robinson books she did, but I can't remember any of those. So I don't know. Very vague memory. Okay, so this is your warning. Cut out now if you don't want me to start getting a little spoilery on a 10-year-old movie. Okay? Okay. When Marnie Was There, as presented, looks like a pretty straightforward ghost story. There's this mysterious girl. Anna wakes up in weird places. She doesn't know how she got there. Mysterious happenings happen. There's a lot of strangeness. And if you look at it just on the surface, that's what it totally looks like. It looks like it's just a straight up, hey, here's a ghost story. Marnie's like a ghost type figure because there's somebody living in the house. They're doing renovations on the house. And despite them actively doing renovations, Anna is standing there looking at the house. It's weird, ain't it? But I think it's not a ghost story. I think ultimately it's not actually a ghost story. I think it's all in Anna's head. And there's a couple things. I actually went and scrunched up some pictures as one of these points. All right, so we're getting super duper into spoilers here. Okay, so Anna's family is dead. That's her on the left as a small child at the funeral. Notice the doll she has. Notice on the right. That's Marnie. As Marnie appears when they get towards the crescendo of what happens in their relationship, because they go to this scary place, and that's when things break down. Marnie is talking about this boy she likes. She thinks Anna is the boy she likes. Okay, you with me so far? So the doll and Marnie look the same. Now, Marnie, up until that moment in time, has been pulling Anna in and they're doing friend stuff. That's why it felt like a ghost story. But towards the end, the story changes and it becomes more like someone else's memory. Okay? Now, at this point in the movie, Anna has met a list of characters down here. I think her name was Sayako. She's a little girl that's living in the house. Oh yeah, there's the big scary windmill in real life. Isn't that awesome looking? Sayaka, that was it. So she is this little girl. She's living in the house, the house that is the marsh house that Anna thinks is abandoned. Her family bought it. They're renovating it. She's living there. She's found Marnie's diary. Okay. Well, stuff keeps happening, and they get together. They read the diary, and the diary has the things that Marnie does with Anna in it. For example, there's a party sequence, and in that party sequence, Marnie's like, I dance with the flower girl. She dresses Anna up as the flower girl, and then they dance at the party. So all that stuff has happened. It's not like this stuff is new. Everything Anna's experiencing is in the diary. These are past events. These are things that have already happened. One of the key things that Sayaka says is, I see you staring at the house every day. Not, I see you out there frolicking around, like you have an imaginary friend. Literally, I see you staring at the house every day. All right? So there are psychological states that people can get into where they are not really responsible for their actions, where they are not really conscious of what's going on. And so we're going to drag over here in a second kind of what I think is going on. But I'm going to lay out a little more case that it's psychological and not real. So while Marnie is in the tower, or I'm sorry, while Anna is in the tower with Marnie, and Marnie is thinking that her boyfriend, is his name here? Kazuhiko, I think is the boyfriend. Um, she thinks Anna is Kazuhiko, and we see the sequence of events as Sayaka is reading them. Now, Anna doesn't know about that stuff from the papers. Later in the film, we get like a big truth reveal that Marnie is actually Anna's grandmother, okay? So this kind of makes you go, oh, it's a ghost story, right? The grandmother came back, wanted to meet her granddaughter, that kind of stuff. But one of the key scenes is, and the funeral is the grandmother's funeral. So that is Anna at the grandmother's funeral right here, holding a doll that looks like Marnie. Now, one of the key things is Marnie is estranged from her daughter, Emily, and then Emily and her husband died, leaving Marnie to care for Anna. And part of that is that Marnie is telling Anna all of these stories. She explicitly called out in the movie as one of the things that she talks about the tower. So I think what's going on here is Anna is going into, and this, I'm not a psychiatrist, but she's going into something like a dissociative fugue state, and she is reliving her grandmother's memories as she's discovering who she is. Because deep down inside, as a child, she knows this stuff. It was told to her. It was given to her. You are this person. Your name is Anna. Here's some stories from my childhood at this house. When her adoptive mother comes out, she's got this photo. The photo is of the Marsh house. It's got Marnie's name on the back. It makes Anna go, "Oh." That's the big reveal where we all go, "Oh." So I think this is actually, the whole movie isn't actually a ghost story like it looks on the surface. I think this movie is actually like a psychodrama where we're reliving secondhand memories. And through those secondhand memories, Anna is discovering who she is, where she comes from, all that great kind of stuff. Because she's a child, she doesn't necessarily remember what her grandmother looks like, but she remembers this doll, which presumably her grandmother gave her. She was a small child, and so because her grandmother was exotic, she associates her grandmother with the doll. I think that's what's going on there, guys. I think that's what when Marnie Was There is about. Is it's actually like a really deep psychodrama. Now, I haven't read the book, and I have intentionally done my best. I gotta look at that. Look at that again. I've intentionally done my best not to read other people's opinions on this. I wanted to give you like what I've thought of over the last couple of days. So yeah, instead of a late night comic book review, you got a late night movie chat. So there you go. You all have a great one. Thank you for listening here. If you've seen this movie and you have opinions, like let me know down in the comments below, as they like to say on YouTube. And otherwise, you have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.